Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both Mikes.
I love when the audience applauds for us when we come in here.
Yeah, because we're so special.
That's my favorite thing here. Now, I just had you up here, but then I lost you. Now I'm trying to put you back up here again. Hang in there, Mike. 1 second, folks.
I'm one of those clicky clicks. Look for the clicky.
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome to Both Mikes, everybody.
Hey, folks. Both Mikes is a show about nothing and everything. That's Mike Safka.
That is Mike Tail right there. And together we are Both Mikes.
Welcome to show number 86 of Both Mikes, heard everywhere. Podcast can be found. You can find us every Friday night around 7 o'clock-ish on twitch.tv/bothmikes. And anywhere else you can find podcasts. YouTube, if you want to see us in the flesh.
YouTube,
if you want to see us. Facebook. But everything else, you'll find us audio everywhere you can find podcasts. Good morning. How are you, sir? How's things? How's life?
I'm doing good. I'm putting a note in the chat room here. I'm willing to chat. Let's see.
Sure.
If you're watching us on twitch.tv/bothmikes live, you can see the chat box there. You can chat with us live as well. You can tell us secret jokes or punchlines so we look brilliant. That would be great.
Right?
Yeah. Funny information only. So I'm trying to
guess where I went over the weekend.
What? Where'd you go?
Not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But we took the kids to the Jacksonville Zoo, giving a little what's hot in St. Augustine. Is the zoo? You ever been to the zoo here in Jacksonville?
No, I haven't. How was it? How the kids like it?
It was actually really good.
Okay.
It was. Yeah, I'm thinking that they think they're competing with Disney because of Animal Kingdom there, but I've been to quite a few zoos, and I would rank it up there probably in like the top 3.
Really?
So yeah, I was impressed.
What would be the other 2 that are in the top 3?
Would be probably Washington D.C. and the Bronx Zoo.
All right. What about? Have you been to any of these other places that remember they had a thing up in Jersey in Wildwood, I think, and then they have one down here in South Florida. It's like Lion Country Safari,
Jungle Habitat in Jersey.
Jungle Habitat, yeah. You don't like that the drive-through thing? That's not a zoo.
I did the Six Flags Great Adventure. I did that drive-through. That was interesting. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the drive-through.
Well, they're starting to make it really tough to have animals like that. What people think they're doing, in my opinion, is they think they're doing the right thing by stopping zoos and stopping SeaWorld from giving guest educational interaction. How do you expect the next generation to, abide by these so-called green initiatives and PETA and all this stuff? That's great, and I'm glad you're speaking up for yourselves. You have that right, and I'll fight for that right till my last breath. But at the same time, you can't change my life because the way you feel. Like I couldn't go to a concert one time because it was at SeaWorld because it got canceled because PETA had like 3 angry moms out there with an open can of tuna fish or something. It gets ridiculous after a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I agree.
So I think these places are important.
Yeah, they have their place, Where else are you going to see an otter swimming around?
Yeah, like we're not selling tickets to a cat of nine tails going, see how many you can take out in a closed room, We're not.
Right.
It's not that.
It's not a pistol range.
Yeah. I mean, you should see the look on kids' faces, and I'm sure you did, but if you've ever been on one of those situations where it's a big glass and the animals are on the other side, not just an aquarium situation, but yeah? Did they have something like that or what?
They had that for the tigers, and to stand there literally inches from a Bengal tiger is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And to know that you're safe.
Well, the kids liked it.
Of course, yeah. But
I mean,
I just wanted to throw
they liked getting
there.
Up close. They didn't. They weren't like standing behind you even though there was glass.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, they were fine. I was impressed with their curiosity.
All right, so the zoo there. What's the name of it again?
It was just the Jacksonville Zoo. Yeah, okay. Nothing special about it, or nothing. No special name.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just making sure. We got a cheap plug in there for him.
Yeah, well, for what's hot in Florida, the Jacksonville Zoo.
Speaking of cheap plugs, your hair's looking good.
You think? Did I do something?
No, no.
Yeah.
Whenever you do that, I picture David Letterman, like doing the hair and then straightening the tie. Buttafuoco. No, you're not a fan of Letterman? No, you don't remember
Back
that?
in the day, I remember when he used to be on like 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back when.
Yeah, well, they obviously did the right thing by putting. See, it's like in some businesses. When I was in a car business, the higher your ranking, your status or whatever, or your title, the higher you got up in these companies, the closer your office was physically toward the front door. And that was because that's the next step. You get promoted
Exactly.
to a point, and then you're kicked the fuck out, and they get another guy. So
Right, half the price.
yeah, well, that's how it goes. I did want to talk about your Monsters of Rock. I see you got your Monsters of Rock shirt on.
Yes, I wore it special because rumor had it that we were going to talk about it today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's coming up a few weeks. Hey, I took that picture.
Yeah, you sent me a handful of pictures, and I got them all up here. So
Yeah.
you can tell us what we're looking at. Okay, first of all, the shirt you're wearing, is that from this past year or years before or what?
2020. So this is the year, the last one I went on, and apparently I was gold VIP. No, I wasn't gold VIP. 2020. I don't know how I got this shirt.
Nice.
Beats me.
That's always the best. Well, it fits you nice, so I know it wasn't a freebie.
Yeah, it's a little tight in the neck, but that's all right. I'll live.
Oh, all right. So what's this picture of here? It says Shredders from the Deep. Was that like the theme of that cruise or what?
Yeah. They I think they like hand selected bands that are notorious for having like shredder guitar players. I think Keel was on that particular one. They're a shredder band. Who am I thinking of that sticks out of my mind? Crap, I can't think. They had one of the guys and one of the guitar players from Iron Maiden. He was on board. Just him. Harris was his last name, and Steve Harris, I think it is. And some of the bands that are more known towards guitar-driven music was in that particular Monsters of Rock cruise. And that picture there is actually indoors. They had the pre-cruise concert. Usually they have 2 nights, and I think one particular year they had 3 nights, and sometimes they'll have it outside or sometimes they'll have it inside. Like the first night, not that many people will be in town, so they'll have it inside for a smaller venue, and then the night before the cruise, everybody's there, so they'll have it outside at the Magic City Casino at the dog track.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So this picture you took here, you're at an inside venue. This isn't on the boat yet, right?
Right. It's an inside venue.
So it's the pre-party. It's the warm-up.
Yes. It's priming the pump. And I basically sent the picture because it was a picture of the logo. And,
no, I hear you. Well, whatever.
No
I just picked out. So you can tell us what these other pictures are as I go through them here. Or hang on a second here. Let me see what this one is. Here's another one. There's you and Brenda, and who you with there?
You don't know what band that is?
I probably know, but I don't.
You do. That's Skid Row.
Oh yeah. All right.
The latest inception of Skid Row, with their new lead singer. I wish I knew his name, but he's actually really good. A lot of people don't like him and are disappointed with him, but that particular show, I think this was 2019, was the highlight of the entire concert or the entire cruise. I thought,
So let me ask you: is this type of opportunity to meet bands like this? Is that for everyone on the ship, or you have to buy a certain package, or what?
No, well, the meet and greets are for everybody in the entire boat, but they do have a VIP package. They have a silver and a gold, and that upgrades you to a nicer cabin, or a balcony cabin, or a suite. Like the silver VIP, we did most of the time, and it's usually like a junior suite or a larger balcony cabin. And then you'll see one of the pictures where we have a bunch of roommates, and that was a gold package we got. And gold package will get you to the front of the line. VIP silver will get you behind gold, and then behind that is steerage, and that's to get into the theater and to get into the meet and greets. So
do all the bands on the ship do this, or is it just select?
I would say everybody, except you'll get some particular people that they think they're too good for it, or they don't sign up for it. Like Sebastian Bach, I don't think did a meet and greet. Vince Neil didn't do a meet and greet. This coming up cruise, we have Alice Cooper. I doubt he'll do a meet and greet. With the rest of the folks, this particular cruise, I don't know if anybody will do a meet and greet.
Well, under the current conditions and everything, there's no telling. So,
climate of life.
All right, what about this picture here? What's going on in this picture? I got questions.
Okay. You have questions?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what are you and Brenda doing?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Brenda's kind of leaning forward to take the picture, and there's nothing out of the ordinary going on there.
All right, because it looks like you're getting in position there. Just checking.
No. Right. Of course.
All right, so this is a crazy bunch of people that you hang out with occasionally when you go on the Monsters of Rock cruise, or what?
Correct.
All right,
but
cool.
You'll also notice there's 8 people there. And this particular year, I got people together and said, hey, let's get a 2-bedroom suite. And we could put 8 people in it.
Yeah.
And if you do the math...
Yeah, makes more sense.
It makes more sense. It was actually less money to do a 2-bedroom suite with all these people.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the 8, well, besides Brenda, the guy next to me with the hat, that's Roy. He's the only person I knew before this particular inception of this cruise.
Oh, cool.
Everybody else I'm now friends with, well, except for one person. But yeah, we're all friends now. And this is a gold VIP suite, 2-bedroom suite.
All right, so hold on. I got questions. All right.
Go ahead.
So it's a 2-bedroom suite. What's the bathroom situation?
2 bathrooms.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just checking. Because I can imagine with 8 people that being problematic, late at night or early morning or whatever.
But also, I'm somebody who's been on many cruises and knows how it works.
Right.
If like anybody needed an extra shower, just go up to the gym or the spa.
Oh, all right.
Right.
All right. Well, I never thought of that.
Gym,
wow.
Go up to the gym, take a shower, and you're good to go. But yeah, it was like a master bedroom situation with a bedroom, a pull-out couch for 2 people, and then it was another bedroom with 2 bunk beds that popped down out of the ceiling and 2 twin beds on the floor.
So, all right.
And then
was that a balcony too, or no?
Balcony at the back of the boat, probably about 20 feet long, 16, 20 feet long balcony, and of course chase lounges and stuff like that. This particular year, wasn't this year. The year before this year is the year I got 11 bottles of wine on board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this year,
are we talking about that or no?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. How do you get 11 bottles of wine on board?
Well, at the time, they don't allow it anymore, more than likely because of me. I apologize to the Monsters of Rock people. But you were allowed 2 bottles of wine per stateroom. Well, they don't correlate which 2 bottles go to which 2 people in the stateroom. So I'm like, hey, I know you. Take these 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah. I remember you telling me this story.
Put them in your carry-on bag.
Yeah.
Go through security, and I'll meet you over there. So it would have been 12 bottles of wine, but I drank one the night before.
All right.
Yeah. So.
All right. What is it? Who are these guys here in a picture with you?
They're all from New Jersey, bro. All right. This is Danger.
All right. Now this is the year you had to go without Brenda, right?
More than likely.
All right.
Yeah. I would say it had to be because Brenda's not there, even though Brenda did sleep a lot.
All right. So
I think this is
Danger.
2019. All right. To the left, Steve Brown, guitar player for Trickster. Next person is Ted Poley. He is the lead singer for Danger. That is Bruno. Don't know his last name. I can't remember. Bruno Ravel. He's the bass player for Danger, and that is Steve West, drummer for Danger, and they are Danger.
So they liked your shirt, obviously, being you're from New Jersey then.
I purposely wore my New Jersey shirt that particular day. And the time before I had my picture taken with them, a different year, I wore my White Castle t-shirt because of the meet and greet with them.
All right. So what's up with the Def Leppard Pale Ale here?
I thought you'd find it interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very hoppy beer. Not a fan of the beer at all. I'm not a beer snob.
So was Def Leppard on the cruise one year or no?
The drummer, Rick Allen, actually is an artist of sorts. He does paintings, and he found his way on board with some of his artwork, and
I thought you were going to say he found his way on board as a slot machine.
A one-armed bandit. Nice.
I'm hearing it from the intern. She's screaming at me from down the hall. If you picked any of that up, that's great.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, all right. I thought it was funny. All right, so you didn't like the beer, but is this something they always have, or they just had it because he was on there?
They just had it because he was on there, and I think he's been on 2 or 3 times, and they only had it once.
Is that the only Def Leppard beer they had, or was there other options?
Yeah. No, that was it. Right. Another time when the guitar player for Iron Maiden was on, they had the Trooper. Their beer. Actually, the drummer for Iron Maiden has a restaurant down in like the Coral Springs.
That's right. I've been there. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a rib place.
I've been there.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, been there. And also Frank Hannon, who is the guitar player for Tesla, this past time around had a beer that was named after him. And somewhere, I think in this room, is a can of it. And another hoppy craft type beer that I'm not a fan of. When your favorite beer is Miller Lite, it kind of tells you something.
Well,
less filling, tastes great.
So tell me about your trip here. What I want to do is I want to spend like the next 13 minutes or so, the first half of the show here on Monsters of Rock, and then we'll revisit it each week before you go, because we got 6 shows, 3 weeks before you go, right?
I think it's about 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it on even numbered shows. So if you're listening to this one on twitch.tv/bothmics, YouTube, Facebook, if you're somewhere you pick up podcasts, we're going to do this on even numbered shows for the next 3 weeks here. So that'll be a good thing. You'll have 3 more chances to talk about Monsters of the Rock Cruise, or listen to Mike talk about it anyway. I don't know. You could hit us up in the chat with something like that if you're... or send us a note. You can always contact us through the site. There's easy ways to do that, or on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever. Leave us a message or a comment.
The Both Mics Facebook page, always available.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so tell me what are you looking forward to the most about this Monsters of Rock cruise? This is 2022.
Well, believe it or not, Skid Row is going to be on again. And like I said, last time they were on board, 2019, they were great. They did a great show, and it was the highlight for me of the entire cruise. They actually left the cruise early to go to Nashville to record their next album. And here we are 3 years later, and that album is yet to be released.
Wow, is that some sort of COVID problem, you think? Or
I'm thinking, some kind of COVID issue. I think all the members that were here 3 years ago are still the members of the band now, so I don't think there's an issue there. It's just kind of bizarre that it's taken 3 years to get an album out. It better be good like Hysteria back in '87. That took 4 years to come out.
Yeah.
But it had 7 charting singles, which is like unheard of. But yeah, that and the people, the camaraderie of the people that you meet all around the country that go to the Monsters of Rock cruises.
Now, you ever catch up with any of these people at any other event or any other thing? Like, you run into the people or no?
No, not really. And believe it or not, one of them lives like a half mile from me.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's we were friends on Facebook. And like all of a sudden she starts talking about, I can't wait, the new Buc-ee's is going to open soon. I'm like, where do you live? And she's like, oh, right here. I'm like, literally like the next subdivision over she lives.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So.
All right. So so the first day, so you're going to be there for the pre-party or no?
Yeah. We're going to show up the day before. We're going to drive down to Miami. I think we're staying at like the Wyndham or something. Head over to the pre-party. God, I should probably pull up who's playing on the pre-party. But I wasn't overly impressed. It's like 5 bands that are playing. So they're probably going to open the doors around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and they'll run until 11 o'clock. And they have like...
Excuse me one second. Hang on. Hey, you can't be doing that. I'm on the air. Go ahead.
How dare she? But yeah, so I'll probably play a little roulette like I always do. Always bet on black. And do the pre-cruise concert. And it's in the part of Miami that, well, imagine that, the part of Miami that's kind of Cuban. Even though all of Miami's kind of Cuban.
Wow.
So we'll probably pick up
Mike_Taylor at bothmikes.com.
bothmikes.com. Yeah, I'll check my email tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll probably have Brenda will probably have a Cuban sandwich, and I'll have something that is more American. And
what are you gonna have? A burger?
Taco Bell. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, it's about a 5-hour drive, believe it or not, 4.5-hour drive to get there. It's like unreal. And then of course we'll hit the bed, hit the hay, get up early, and head over to the port. Parking at the port, $28 a day.
That's ridiculous,
isn't it?
Yeah. Are you guys? Yeah. Are you? So you're not gonna have a hotel near the point of where you're getting on or off the ship, right? No.
Yeah. Magic City Casino is over by the airport.
So when you go to the pre-party, you're actually checking in on the ship a night before then.
No.
Okay, so how can you go for the pre-party? You have to have somewhere to stay, right? The night?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's
we have a hotel, but the hotel that we're at is by the airport, which is by Magic City, not the cruise port, which is downtown.
Because I was gonna say, if they wouldn't know any different, you could just keep your car parked at the hotel, save $100 or so, and take an Uber.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And usually when we fly in, there's no problem with that. We take an Uber, or I'll rent a car from the airport. We'll tally around town for a day or two, go to the beach, whatever the case may be, and then we'll go downtown. I'll drop her and the luggage off at the port. I'll run back into town, a couple blocks away, to Enterprise, drop off the car, and then have the Enterprise shuttle drive me back to the cruise port. It's an extra step, but it's worth it. And to have a car with us the whole time. I think only once, like, we stayed downtown, and it was a non-Monsters of Rock cruise. It's a cruise we got engaged on, that we took an Uber from the Hilton downtown to the cruise port. Another time, we had a friend drive us in, and that worked too. So, but we also thought about off-site parking. Off-site parking, you can get under $10 a day.
Right.
But how much is that worth to you? Do you have to do it because of the money?
Wow.
If you did, yeah.
I'm looking at the list here of who you're going to see on this cruise. You're going to see Buckcherry. Have you seen them before?
I've seen them open for Motley.
Yeah, they're good. I like them a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the chance to meet those guys when they played House of Blues way back in the 90s, like late 90s or whatever it was, 99, 98, somewhere around there.
Cool.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, but they don't seem like a fit for this. There was another, but Lit is on here as well. I like them too, but
I'm looking forward to seeing Lit. My Own Worst Enemy is one of my favorite songs.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of strange. They talked about Alice Cooper and all these bands, and all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we're having Lit on board." I'm like, "What?"
I have to see this band named I just had it here. Hang on a second. It's Killer Dwarfs.
Oh, they're on board, really?
Yeah. Who's that?
They're from Canada. My friend Roy, who was in that picture of 8 people, is actually friends with them, and they're real cool people. And nothing they have that like really charted really well that you would know the song.
Are you allowed to bring a fire extinguisher on the cruise with you?
I don't think so. Why would I need a fire extinguisher?
Well, I see great whites on the bill as well, and you want to have your shit together and ready to go.
Nice. That's Mike_Sofka.
That's correct.
At bothmikes.com.
That's correct. And we talked about Pat Travers before too. You have to see him.
I'm not familiar with his work. He's an artist.
If you listen to him, you will be. You'll be like, oh, that's that guy. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And aren't you fans of this Tom Kiefer too?
Tom Kiefer, lead singer from Cinderella. That'll be a good show.
And then Winger.
Kip Winger was our neighbor on one particular cruise.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We were Brenda and I were walking down our hallway to our room, and all of a sudden someone pops their head out and looks down the hallway on his cell phone. And I'm like, it's Kip Winger. So of course I'm drunk and I'm like, hey, get back in your room. And he like ducks in his room real quick. Like, nice. What the hell?
Nice.
He's like, oh crap, people.
Nice. Yeah, I've run into people like that before. It's always fun when you run into somebody because did it take you a second to register who that was, or did you know right away? Did you pause for a second and go, wait a second, did I just see that? Yeah.
No, it was quicker than that, but I was like, what he's our neighbor?
Yeah. Crazy. All right, so you're excited about the Monsters of Rock cruise. When does it go? You're getting there on a Wednesday night maybe for the pre-party?
No, I think the pre-party is
Thursday?
8th.
Okay.
8th. It's Tuesday, right?
I don't know. I'm not the one going on a cruise. You don't know when you're freaking going?
I know when I'm going, but I don't know what day of the week it is. Yeah, the 8th is a Tuesday. Look, there you go.
All right.
And your
8th is a Tuesday.
1 second ahead of mine.
So the pre-party is on the 8th.
The 8th, Tuesday, yep.
That's at Magic City.
Magic City, yep. And we got an email with our names on it, and that's the our entry ticket. Even though you can basically walk into any door of the casino, go upstairs, walk around, and, they don't even check wristbands, really. It's not like it's Monsters of Rock security manning the place. It's Magic City Casino.
So you're at the casino. I had a situation at that casino a couple years ago. I went to see Cheap Trick there, and we had a great time. We were on the track, like on the sand. Like we had the VIP. They had like 20 chairs down there, and I was one of them. It was perfect. So we wanted to play a little in the casino both before and after the show. So we were like trying to play a slot, but everybody was playing all these slots. Then there was like one person like guarding a slot machine. And I'm like, are you playing that? He's like, no, speaking foreign languages at me. And I'm like, okay, well, we want to play this machine. He's like, no. And he's blocking the machine. So I'm standing there, about 5-10 minutes goes by. So finally I get one of the guys. And he's like, no, he's fine. He's saving it for his wife. I'm like, you can't do that. You got 1,000 fucking slot machines in this room. I'm trying to play the only one that's open, and this guy's telling me I can't. And he's just a dude in the place just like me. That's like doing that in a parking lot. You ever have somebody do that to you in a parking lot? No, you can't park here. Somebody's coming. No.
Right.
No, there's no saving. You're not saving parts.
Get your kid to jump out real quick.
So,
and stand in the spot.
So what's your call on etiquette? Can you save a slot machine?
No. Okay. If there's 10 people in the place and there's 1,000 slot machines, okay, right. I get it. No big deal. If there's 1,001 people in the place and there's 1,000 slot machines, no, you move along.
Well, that's what happened. And after I got the guy that both spoke another language that I didn't speak, after they talked to each other, all of a sudden this fucking gringo was out. I ended up not being able to play a slot machine. I'm like, really?
Yeah, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, it was my fault. Yeah. All right, so I'm sure we lost a couple sponsors there. That's great. Great. Way to go, Mike.
Good.
All right, so we're gonna revisit Monsters of Rock cruise here next couple weeks before you go, and then are we gonna hear from you while you're on the cruise? Or we're gonna how's that gonna work?
I think I'll be able to set it up at least while I'm in port. I'll do a walkthrough. I'll get on Facebook Live and be on the Both Mics Facebook page and do a Facebook Live, maybe with Sail Away too, until we get out of the port area.
Okay.
And then on the Friday night, I think I'll get the internet package, and I'll be able to join you at least for 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
On a Friday night, and we can. I'll walk around or find some good Wi-Fi, and probably just use my phone.
Yeah.
I think can I use Skype on my phone? I'm sure I can.
I don't see why not. All right, cool.
So,
well, we'll stay tuned for that. I want to go over to something else, though. I didn't want to have the whole show with the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this thing that happened in Brevard County, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. Brevard Public Schools.
South of me. Was it
Yeah, it's about halfway between me and you. They're sending parents to court over student absences.
Haven't schools been trying to do that for years?
It's according to WFTV.com, the local ABC affiliate. A program launched Thursday going after Brevard County parents for students who keep missing class. Parents and guardians can now be ordered to participate in the truancy reduction court and be held accountable if their kids don't attend class.
Like I said, they've done that. Not they particularly in Brevard County, but I've seen that all the time. That parents will be held responsible, parents this, parents that. And what are you doing? How are you so bad at life that your kids are missing school all the time? Are you filthy rich and you're gallivanting around the world and your kid's schooling is in your way?
Well, my immediate question was, what's the barometer? And it says here, officials say 15 absences in a 90 calendar day can trigger an intervention. Brevard Public Schools says 3,968 students have 15 or more unexcused absences. The families of 429 of those students have been sent to the district's truancy team to try to work through any obstacles to school attendance. And 25 families are expected to head to court between now and the end of the school year, where they will have the option to participate in a truancy diversion program.
Diversion. Wow. That's...
You go back even as far as we were, but certainly people before us, and it was like, you don't like school, don't fucking go. Quit. Go get a fucking job. Do your thing. It was, what are we doing here?
If I missed one day a year, that was a lot. I think I missed 3 days in the 4 years of high school.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was, known to, miss some classes or some days here and there. I did get in trouble one time, no big deal, but I earned a status on campus where I was able to go and come as I please. We weren't on lockdown. We didn't have I think we had a resource officer, but I don't think he was there full time. So a person in a cop uniform. But I've gone back to that school since then, and I've seen it looks like it's on permanent lockdown. It's got 6-foot fences with barbed wire and shit, and I'm like, wow. I have really fucked this up for these kids. I'm sorry. I know they had to take some extremes when I left. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, my school is right downtown. No fence, no nothing. You can walk right up. Where schools down here seem like they'd be on and more acreage.
So here's my question to you: when your two oldest were going to school, what would your thoughts have been if there was a program like this or a threat that this could happen to you? What would you think about that?
It wouldn't be an issue because we're not that bad at life. You wake up in the morning, you drag your ass to school. My son actually went to school out of district because the school he was supposed to go to didn't have ROTC. His plan was to go into the armed forces, and he wanted to go to ROTC. So I drove him until he got his license and had a car. I drove him to school every day at 6:30 in the morning. Every day. Well, every weekday. So, yeah, it was not an issue. You go to school. You drag your ass to school. you instill good habits in your children, and good habits happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't get it. Like I said, how bad at life do you have to be that this is an issue in your life?
Well, there's a few people that I know would like to be bad at life, but they're not. And I'm trying to get this segue real smooth but I can't find what I need to pull up here. So here it is. Right now, it's time for the alien update.
Buzz-looking alien! Where? Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people.
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too. But I think he's an alien. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, so the alien update. This is when we talk about not the 7 billion people on the planet, but the 7 or so who obviously have had alien intervention. They are aliens themselves. Something has gone on, but you can't tell me that these people are that much smarter and are advancing our culture with both technology and their leadership in certain fields. I just, guys like Bill Gates, guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson. Am I leaving anybody out here? Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
All these Einsteins who now think, some of them anyway, I don't see this as Musk, but think that they know better than everyone else now. So anyway, I'll leave that to your own opinion. But the thing I want to talk about here with that is Musk. He's an easy guy to talk about because he's doing a lot. This is going to be, this is all photoshopped, obviously, and I didn't do that, but it's obviously good. But Tesla's going to have a phone. Did you know that? Tesla's going to be a phone carrier. They're going to use that quantum internet from the Starlink and use it on a phone system. So now your phone works anywhere in the world because they got those Starlink satellites up.
Right. Cool. That particular phone he's holding looks like that ugly ass pickup truck he's trying to buy.
Exactly. It looks like an aerial shot of that pickup truck. It's funny you say that. I saw somebody put they had like a Toyota pickup truck, and somebody had put like a box on the back of it on the top, like a cover, like a camper cover, but it slanted down like that, and it was made of plywood, and it made it look like that Tesla with the real sharp corners and the fastback look. It was pretty funny. It was like an '83 Toyota pickup truck with this.
Oh, God.
I think the remark was something about, I don't see what the big deal is about Tesla's new truck or something like that. It was pretty funny. But the reason why I picked this up is, looking at this, I was led to some other things that I had no idea that Musk was doing. And I don't know, maybe it's all bullshit or not, but this story about the phone system is from complexob7.com. And this is something that was just posted today, and it starts talking about, this is the new Tesla phone model Pi, P-I, with Starlink Wi-Fi. I don't know. I find it fascinating that this is a guy. What isn't this guy doing?
Right. Yeah. He's like, do you think he sat down one day? He's like, what market can I corner next? What am I not doing?
I think he just walks around and kind of like, if you've been in like a restaurant management position or something like that, you sometimes do this thing called MBWA, manage by wandering around. You have to be seen in every part of the building. You're always looking at stuff. You're always looking at, here come the air quotes, areas of opportunity and so forth. Is this guy's wavelength, is his thought process that he does these managed by wandering around through his life? He sees a problem and he finds a fix for it. And now that he's got a fix for that, he's on to the next thing. I got a fix for that,
right.
And this is how he's wired.
It's like like living your life and you're like, I could do that. And he has the means to be able to do that. Where you or I go like, I could do that, but we don't have the means or the way to do that. Where he just, throws out some money, hires a couple people, get it done.
Well, part of the reason why I want to talk about him again is he's got something else going on now, too. This is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Let me pull it up here. Tesla plane. He's
I
going to have a plane
thought
service.
you were going with sex toys.
No.
Even though that airplane kind of does look like a sex toy, but okay. Yeah,
No,
not bad.
So I had seen last week, and I apologize for not being able to track it down for this week's show. Earlier in the week, I saw a link that there's a flying car, and it don't look like no friggin' drone. It looks like a car. It looks like a car. Okay. And it flies, and it can go up to 200 miles an hour and hold 5 passengers.
Interesting.
It'll fly at 3,000. They've already got the whole thing figured out. It'll fly at 3,000 feet, can go maximum speed at 200 miles an hour. And so you can get to work or where we got to in record time, I guess. So I'm guessing that Tesla's going to use this plane, use the cars, and then in time cross the two together like this, because it's an electric vehicle, that flying car I'm talking about.
Now, with this, is this a flying plane? Duh.
Yes.
Is this an electric flying plane? I don't see any engines.
Well, it says part of the thing in here is talking about it being an electric plane. So yes, this will be an electric plane. What were you thinking? It was going to be a diesel with black smoke coming out the back end of it, or what were you thinking?
With a big Cummins diesel, 10-liter engine.
Old Mercedes from the 70s. You're sitting behind it in traffic or on a turnpike. You're like, Jesus Christ.
I guess the engine's in the back somewhere where I can't see it.
No, I don't know. I think it's something to do with these little this thing on the side here, maybe. I don't know. It's not a very good picture of that.
Right, yeah. Whatever that is. It's kind of far off from the way out in the wing. I don't think you would put an engine that far out away from the body.
This is where it starts to get interesting for me.
Okay.
We've talked about this in the past. Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip. We've talked about this in these shows in the past.
Yes.
They're going to take a chip and put it inside your brain, and you're going to become closer to the access of a computer in your head. You're going to become one with computers and AI. They're ready for the first human trials right now.
Well, it's also has to do with quantum computers, and you mentioned earlier that Starlink is a quantum computer.
Quite convenient. He set that up, huh?
Yeah. So
they were probably telling him, "Oh, you can't do that because you don't have this." Oh, that's fine. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, on the right there is what that chip looks like. Okay.
Yes.
Then here's what the chip looks like in your head, I guess. I guess they go in, peel back a little bit. Thing looks like the size of a battery, maybe like a watch battery. And they're going to put that thing in your head here.
Yeah. No, not this head.
Are you a fan of anybody you know doing it? Like your family member or somebody?
No.
Okay. How would you handle that if they're like all excited about doing it and you're like, dude, I don't think you should be doing that?
Right. God, can
you say something?
I don't know. Yeah, I probably would if it was my children. I would voice my opinion. Obviously, it wouldn't mean crap, but I would voice my opinion.
Well, it just blows my mind that here we go. It just still blows my mind. How can one guy try to recreate the whole planet with the electric car situation? Now he's building planes. He's got a phone service. He's got the SpaceX. He's going into space. He's got rockets that land on a postage stamp in the middle of the ocean. My mind is just so blown by this dude.
Right.
I'm almost accepting of this idea. I'm not, but I'm almost, because of his credibility elsewhere, I'm like, well, this obviously is a great idea, you know?
Yeah. Well, the application of this, I thought that something like this would be like a headband you would wear, and it would be a computer that would be part of you.
No, we talked about this because it'd almost be like a plug-and-play thing, like the cochlear thing, so you hear, but this is... Okay, so what happens if the thing stops working? Do you have to stop and push the top of your head and reboot it and start it over? I mean, how's that work?
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you have a dot on your forehead. You can press that. And
put it right out in front. Yep. This way you can see the push button.
If it's green, it's charged. If it's red, it needs to be recharged. Yeah, but I don't know. And I've heard people talk about this stuff all the time. This thing will talk to you, and you'll
hear the voices in your head.
it'll literally be a voice in your head. I had a hearing test done because of my tinnitus, the ringing in my ears, and they actually put like a cochlear type device against my skull and did a hearing test that way. And I thought it was amazing that there was no outside noise going on, but I was hearing the tones inside my head. So it's actually kind of cool how that works.
Well,
yeah, with this thing will talk to you all the time. It'll read books to you. It'll do whatever. You're
think of somebody hacking into your shit and going, "Go get the sharp knife from the drawer, Mike."
Yeah.
I want you to go to a busy area of the city, Mike. You know, I mean, come on.
Go to Times Square. Yeah, look for the dark people, and like even if it'll have like a visual aspect to it. You'll be walking down the street and you'll be like, Alexa or whoever's in my brain, who is that? And they'll tell you, oh, that's Joe Brown. He works for this particular company. He's the CEO and executive, blah, 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 blah. He's from Flushing Meadows, Queens. So, there's so many aspects to this that it's insane. Hey, how do I know this person? What's this person's name?
So I'm thinking like if they're doing this in the Northeast, I don't know where they're doing this. I've been scanning and I haven't seen exactly where they're doing it. I was picturing if they're doing it in Jersey, guys like, yo, can I get the Met games? How does this thing work? Can I get the Giants road games?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not getting in line for a chip in my head. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Well, here he is again. Another thing he's got going on. This is
Banana Split?
This is the Starship concept that he has. It's going to be an artificial gravity starship. And this is going to make it so that there's short-term well-being of astronauts and microgravity. Yada, 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 yada. Busy talk. Here, it's just like, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm almost like, well, shit, there's another few billion in his pocket. He's worth like $300 billion. I'm not going to be mad at the guy, but at the same time, he's got a lot of irons in him. He reminds me of that guy spinning the plates at the show. And then by the time he gets through the one, he's got to go back to the other one and spin the plates again.
Yep. Exactly.
How does he fucking do it?
I don't know, right? We barely have enough freaking time to take 2 hours out of the week and do this show. And this guy's, recreating the freaking planet and pop culture by himself.
Anyway,
pretty much.
He's incredible. So, and then what he's doing is he's finding opportunities, okay? Now, I don't know how successful this is going to be, but he's found an opportunity. He's going to reach out to the people in Tonga and send some of the Starlink equipment so they can have internet. Because I don't know if you heard about this thing in Tonga. They had a big eruption, a big earthquake and stuff. Yeah, in Tonga. And all these people on this island, people can't get a hold of anybody. They don't even know if people are alive or dead. But he sent his request to help. He sent them an email. So I don't think they're going to get that. But
smoke signals. Hey, how are you?
It just now I'm reading stories about him about doing this. So this is a guy who can literally walk into a situation. There's people on another island somewhere, don't have any connectivity to the outside world, and he can provide that instantly almost. He has to get the product there, but he could almost do that instantly. That's fascinating to me. That this is a guy who can affect the world that quickly.
Yeah, I'm impressed too. Like I said, we barely have time to take for ourselves to come on the air and do a 2-hour show once a week, and this guy's just constantly doing stuff. And then he has time to get on Twitter and bash frickin' Bezos
while he's doing it.
While he's doing it, he's getting his jabs into to frickin' Bezos.
He's like the Stephen King of the science world. I mean, every time I turned around, Stephen King had another book coming. I was like, how many books is this guy writing at a time? I mean, I always pictured him having 2 typewriters back in the day, doing 1 book on each typewriter. This is a guy who... Same thing. So here's my question to us. After we reflected all this about Musk, and we know about him, and we know he's either an alien or he's alienated or something.
Yeah. Connected.
He walks around. We've said he walks around and visually finds problems, but he has the wherewithal and the ability on several levels to get it taken care of. What do we walk around and see every day that we wish we could take care of? We'll just fire a letter to this guy. He'll take care of the problem for us. What do you think? You think we can come up with something?
Right? Like, do you think he has like a referral program?
Yeah. Give me 1% of the stock. I'll be a billionaire, dude.
Right? Like, how Vanilla Ice said it better, right? What's the problem? I'll solve it. Something like that.
Yeah. If you got a problem, I'll solve it.
Right.
All right, so I've been trying to think of problems that are so dramatic in my life that I have to have Elon Musk intervening. I came up with one thing.
Okay.
And it's making automobiles more like video games. Okay, so, all right. Let's say I'm at the stop. Let's say I'm out driving down the road and the guy in front of me is going 20 miles under the speed limit and he keeps weaving in and out of his lane. I'm not saying he's a drunk driver, but then I get the opportunity to pass the guy and I see he's texting while he's driving. I should be able to push a button and outside my right mirror should shoot a non-removable tag or a Play-Doh type slime substance on his windshield and it automatically says text while drive. And then the cops will see him and pull him over later for that.
Okay.
How about, like the old oil slick in the back of the car. You push that button. The machine guns for the front of the car. I want something like that. I want to get these fucking people out of my way.
So what's to stop an unsavory, bad at life person from just doing that randomly to any people just because?
I don't know. You're smart, Musk. Figure that shit out. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Musk in our next show, which will come up right after this one if you're on twitch.tv/bothmics about, 6-7 minutes to go here. We're winding up. But at the same time, I want to make sure you're watching the next show as well. So if we're on, what were we on? 86?
86, yeah.
87's coming up live. And, well, if you're not catching it live, that's okay. Just go to the next one that's in the podcast hub or wherever you're getting your stuff from. So, if we're not where you're getting stuff, let me know.
87, good year.
I'll get it there. Yeah, 87 was all right.
Yeah.
What were you doing in 87?
Working.
Yeah, we talked about that before. That's what we did.
Yep. April 3rd of 87, my oldest was born. And I was a manager at Burger King in 1987. Yeah, it sucked.
Why did it suck? Were you on salary?
Yeah. Yep.
How long did you do that?
I did it for just about a year, and then I was let go because their inventory was off an awful lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, had that happen? Well, the computers would go down, and they weren't able to calculate their money correctly, and it was a bad situation.
Oh.
And I got blamed for it.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me it was like because I did have a guy trying to steal from me in the restaurant business one time. I was beating the shit out of him on a back pad. And my boss comes out, he goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Wait." He's got a $200 box of ribs in the trash can here that he's loading into his car.
Right.
Because, yeah, but you can't just beat the shit out of the guy. I'm like, well,
yeah. I would. The one store I worked at, they would. It was a white collar town, so no kids wanted to work at Burger King.
No.
So they had a big van, a 15-passenger van, come from Paterson, New Jersey, to the store I worked at, and like every other night, it was just like, a case of apple pies are missing. Well, how can we be short 48 apple pies? Well, guess what? Something went out in the trash. And then we'd be like short exactly $100. When the books are done at the end of the night. So yeah, it was not good. It was not fun, and kind of glad I got fired.
It put you out of your misery.
Yep. Yeah. I started the year working for Burger King as a manager. I ended the year working overnights at a supermarket. So it was all good.
All right. So you hung out at the supermarket for a couple of years then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, and for a while there, I had 2 jobs. I had 2 full-time jobs,
Right.
and it was torture.
No, but that's what you had to do, and that's what you did.
Yep.
You know.
Exactly.
So hats off to you for
Exactly.
doing it. You know, recognizing you had to do what you had to do, and the gumption to do it and go after it. So that's not easy. You can't find that today. That's why I got the "Get Off My Lawn" logo up there now. These friggin' whippersnappers today.
Right? They only knew.
Yeah. So Lisa and I watched a couple old movies the other day.
Yeah.
Watched one, and then I watched one late last night. The one I watched late last night was The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, it was like 1982 or something. And
Really?
It takes place in the futuristic world of 2019. So
Nice.
it was a hoot to watch that, you know. And then we watched another show. Lisa and I did last week. We watched the movie Real Genius with Val Kilmer and I don't know, a bunch of other people. It was done like in 85, I think. And it was just funny to see, you know, the kids, instead of going to class, they would bring their boombox and set it up to record and leave the class. And just the little things that you remember from those times. We talked about on our last show in 85, but crazy, man. Have you seen any old movies like that recently? And listen to me, old. Like it was a 35-year-old movie, but
Yeah, exactly. Recently we ran through the series Back to the Future. They were like on TBS or something, or HBO. And we don't have HBO, but for some reason we have HBO Demand. And you can pull things up, and we watched Back to the Future 1, and the next day we watched Back to the Future 2. And I don't know if they hold up. You know, I think it's more nostalgia. Than hold, you know, you kind of look at it like, really, this is kind of cheesy and not even plausible.
Well, I was thinking about you the other day because we were watching this and the Picker show where the guys drive around the country and buy people's crap from their yard and their barns and stuff. And they came across a guy had 2 DeLoreans. One that, and supposedly like DeLorean had lived like a mile away down the street or something from him. And these guys knew each other. So he had 2 of them. And one of them he was fixing and restoring. The other one he already fixed and restored. But this one had 29,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And it looked freaking brand new. It looked pretty good. It was in the barn, you know, one of those things. And the other one needed some work, and that's the one the guy ended up buying to fix it up. But I imagine you don't just get any parts for that thing, you know.
No. And the fact that it was actually, they were built in Dublin, Ireland is even tougher. But there's actually a DeLorean Motor Company out there. It's outside of Houston, Texas. And I'm from what I understand is they bought up all the leftover stuff from DeLorean Motor Company out in Dublin, and it's now in Texas. So it's one of those things that, you know, if I won the lottery, I would go buy a couple DeLoreans.
Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, everybody. And
is it time already?
Yeah, we're at time. So, hey, if you want to see us live here again, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. And if not, just press to the next show here on wherever you get stuff. You'll find us, all right?
Cool.
All right. See you in a minute.
Ciao.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst